Hey besties! Welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a spicy AITAH post about a brother who just can't seem to launch. Get ready for some sibling drama as we ask, AITAH for kicking my brother out of my house after 5 years of not getting his shit together? Let's get into it. This is a long one. I am a 43F and I invited my mother and youngest brother, 26M, to live with me in my 4BR/3BA house back in 2020 due to their living situation. Low-income housing, just all-around bad place. Upon moving in, my brother was 21, and I had 3 things I wanted to have him uphold while living with me, which were 1. Maintain consistent employment/build a career, 2. Get an education, and 3. Help around the house. Since I was charging approximate $1,000 per MO in rent, I live in San Diego County, and you can't get even a studio for less than $2,000 per MO. Over the past 5 years, he hasn't upheld anything I asked of him. In fact, he's lost about 12 jobs, and oftentimes he will take a month off from starting another job just to be lazy and not do anything. Meanwhile, my bills for his upkeep were stacking up, and again, I didn't feel it was fair that this 26-year-old man-child was siphoning off of me and not trying, because he felt comfortable that I was his safety net. 2024 was rough for him. He lost his best friend due to an unexpected death. I was in a major accident where a semi broadsided me and caused some serious injuries, and he lost yet another 5 jobs. I suppose the one good thing to come from 2024 was that he met and now has his very first girlfriend. Cute. Well, unfortunately, during the course of them dating, he made the decision to skip out on work days to hang out with her, and then he would subsequently get fired, and then be incredibly upset, not understanding why he lost his jobs. He was in his 90-day probationary periods when he pulled these stunts with every job, and I've gotten on him a lot about how his indiscretions are affecting me and such, but he still continued to do what he does. In Dec of 2024, things became explosive because, yet again, after scamming out of work to play around with his girlfriend, he lost his job. At this point, I have been battling severe depression from the accident, crippling anxiety, pain everywhere, and just recovering from surgery in September, which I took a huge pay cut from being out of work for 3 weeks on medical, and then a subsequent 2 weeks after that for 4-hour days until my ortho cleared me for full-time work in late October. My short-term disability payment still wasn't processed, and I was negative in my leave balance since I had to eat up a week for FMLA and so on. So mind you, I was stressed to the max about not being able to take time off being in so much pain, so I had to force myself to work. I have a mortgage to pay, and my disabled mother depends on me. My brother, being explicitly aware of everything going on with me and my situation, decided that it was a good idea to take a month off and feel sorry for himself. Again. He has a pattern of behavior where he would sleep in daily until 2 p.m., consume everything in the house food-wise, and run up my utilities. I would bitch at him incessantly and threaten to kick him out, but instead of helping out and getting another job, he spent the week of Christmas with his girlfriend and her family, ditching my mom and I, and not really giving a crap. He finally got another job in mid-January 2025, but he then again lost that job when he rear-ended someone in his company work truck, and that person rear-ended someone else. This happened on February 22nd, 2025. There were injuries, and unfortunately for my brother, his days of Class A driving were done for. Instead of dusting himself off and looking for a job or multiple part-time jobs, he holed himself up in his room and again went back to sleeping in, not trying and seemingly giving up. I lost my temper multiple times, asking why at his age he can't get his shit together and just do right for himself, but I honestly swear I think he's perfectly intent with floundering and leeching off my mother and I. From February 22nd to yesterday, he only had 1 single interview, yet claimed that he's been really trying. Last night, I asked him if he could help me with some yard work, as my HOA is all over me not having my front yard landscaping complete. I've been injured, and I said, "You should be able to help since you're not employed or doing anything." He said no, he has plans. I about lost it. Here he is, telling me that garbage, and he's expecting to live in my house for free until he figures life out? No. I went bananas. He disclosed that his plans were for his girlfriend's mother's birthday, and that he cannot break them. I said that he absolutely could, and to let them know that family issues came up. He doubled down and said no. I asked how he could just do that to me when I've been supporting him for the past 5 years, has become wholly unreliable, He even ditches my mom after making plans with her to go hang out with his friends and girlfriend, and it has just morphed into a nightmare. I can't do this yard work myself due to these injuries, and my mother can't due to her disabilities. Yet, this able-bodied, 26-year-old man-child basically said that I'm not as important as his girlfriend's mother, who he's known collectively maybe 3 hours over the past year he's been with his girlfriend. He said some other choice things that were incredibly hurtful, and I told him that since these people are such a priority to him, to go live with them. He can leech off of them. He thought I was joking, and after all this arguing for about an hour, my mom broke it up and I stormed out of my house, and he just stayed there and went to sleep as if nothing happened. That, too, was incredibly hurtful. This morning, I made the decision to return the last 2 days of rent, which would have totaled $75 or so, and told him that I don't want him coming back after he leaves. He's been consistently taking advantage of me, let me know how unimportant I am after everything I've done for him and made so many sacrifices, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I told him when he finds a permanent place to stay, he can come back and get his stuff, but until then, he's absolutely not welcome in my house again. It felt amazing when I heard him packing some stuff up and when he left, and I was pretty numb emotionally until about 4 hours ago when my mom and I picked up dinner. I started feeling really guilty about kicking him out, and I can't even really explain why. This has been such a long time coming, and I can admit that while typing this all out, I'm in a state of catharsis, and I am back to feeling good about my decision to just get him out of the house. I think I will be sad here and there. I think about the fun times we had together when he was younger, and I was someone he looked up to, and up until a few years ago when he just started circling the drain. He is narcissistic, my father was too, and it was wearing me down for the longest time. My other siblings and my mother have been very supportive, but I find myself waffling between being glad it's over and feeling horrible for kicking him out and making him homeless. But really, he did this to himself. He forced my hand. I guess I'm NTH, but like I said, typing this post made me feel better. I want to live my life, and I want the best for him, but there's no way any of that would happen while he was under my roof. No way. Edit. Thank you all so much for the feedback and support. I know for sure that I've made the right choice by kicking him out after all this time. It's just been really hard since I've been in a parental/role model role since he was 11 or so. And of course, the only thing I would ever want for him is to be successful and make something of himself. Sadly, the situation after he moved in became downright abusive when I would hold out hope that he'll get it together, and he's just going through some things, but this dragged on, and he never has taken accountability. I noticed that he would always blame everyone for his failures, me included, and never take accountability. I only realized I was enabling him about a year ago after the accident. It became apparent that what I had going on didn't matter, as he grew more unavailable to help around the house and still lost jobs over attendance when he knew I was in a state of limbo with missing so much work due to injuries, etc. Once he got this girlfriend in his life, he became non-existent when we, Mom and I, absolutely needed him, and he grew increasingly disrespectful. To be honest, I was going through so much last year with trying to recover that I didn't want to deal with his bullshit and tried to focus on healing, but he saw that and took full advantage. Realistically, I should have kicked him out in 2021 after a year of not showing any improvement with the 3 things I required for him to move in, but this is for sure a huge lesson learned. I'm very thankful I kicked him out. While I want to believe in him, his stating that this time is different isn't going to affect me, especially after showing this behavior for the past 5 years and taking a nosedive in the past year alone. I will be firm, and I will not allow him back in. I truly appreciate the advice and feedback. You all are amazing. This was very hard, but very much the right thing to do. I am taking my peace back. I even see a huge relief in my mother too. A lot of sentiments that I've had over the past year, and even expressed to friends and family, were reiterated in many of the comments, and that for sure made me feel better. Thank you. Okay, buckle up, buttercups, because this story is a wild ride. Let's get into it. So, this woman, let's call her San Diego Sally, opened up her 4-bedroom house to her mom and 21-year-old brother back in 2020. Generous of her, right? But hold on, because little bro, let's call him Leechy Larry, was supposed to follow 3 simple rules. Get a job, get an education, and, maybe learn to use a sponge once in a while. Fast forward 5 years, and Larry's basically become a professional couch potato. 12 jobs lost. 12. Like, how is that even possible? And get this, he'd take a whole month off in between just to, and I quote, be lazy and not do anything. Ugh, I'm getting secondhand embarrassment. 2024 was a dumpster fire for everyone involved. Sally was dealing with some major accident injuries, and Larry lost his best friend. But then, a glimmer of hope. He got a girlfriend. But get this, in true Larry fashion, he'd skip work to hang out with her and then act shocked when he got fired. Dude, seriously? Sally's trying to recover from her accident. Her short-term disability is MIA, and she's basically holding everything together with duct tape and caffeine. And where's Larry? Sleeping till 2 p.m., eating all the food, and racking up her utilities. What is wrong with this guy? Then comes the final straw. Yard work. Sally asks him to help with the yard work because the HOA is on her back, and he says no. He has plans with his girlfriend's mother. Girl, I would have lost it. And guess what? She finally did. She kicked him out. Good. For her. Now, of course, she's feeling a little guilty, questioning if she did the right thing. But like, girl, no. You did the right thing. You took your life back. Larry forced your hand. The comments on her post were so supportive, and it sounds like they truly helped. She even said she could see the relief in her mother too. So, to San Diego Sally, I say, you go, girl. Ditch the dead weight, and focus on healing. And to Lychee Larry, get your act together. Let's take a look at what people are saying in the comments.
NTA.
You gave him 5 years of support, and he chose to be lazy, irresponsible, and ungrateful. You didn't make him homeless. He did that to himself by refusing to grow up. Tough love was overdue. Don't feel guilty for choosing your own peace. Well, so many of these tales end up being the family disregarding the insurmountable hardships the OP would endure to help an ungrateful prick with your selfish. Family helps family, etc. But it's nice to see a happy ending of sorts in your case, where your family has your back. You are so NTA, and now that this wastioid is out of your life, you can get back to your own healing and return to physical/mental peace. You have finally stopped enabling him. Now he will finally get to learn what real life is about. You did absolutely the right thing.
NTA.
He's a grown man. He made his choices. He needs to learn to take responsibility for his own life. It's not your job to fix his life. What a relief. You've literally stopped yourself from premature aging, wrinkling, and gray hairs. I hope you found this story and the comments interesting. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.